How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Flesh and Blood video. Today we have a very simple video, but a video that I believe needs to be made regardless. Today I'm going to show you how to tell the difference between a first edition or alpha print Flesh and Blood card or an unlimited version of that same Flesh and Blood card. And to make this video a little bit more interesting, I'll also show you some variations between some alpha print cards, some unlimited cards, as well as the difference between some of the foils, because there's some very interesting stuff going on with the foils. And the whole reason I'm doing a video like this is because I've seen many people ask on Facebook, on Reddit, and even in the comments of my own videos, you know, how to tell the difference between a first edition and an unlimited print card. It's actually pretty easy, but you know, I'm gonna kind of run down the details in today's video. And maybe even prevent a couple people out there from getting scammed, you know, when they're buying an alpha Enlightened Strike when in fact they're really getting an unlimited Enlightened Strike. But before we get started, I do want to give a couple very quick shoutouts. First up, this video is brought to you today by FAB. They are the premier Flesh and Blood deck building website and database. It's the website that I use personally when I make my deck builds, when I make, you know, those deck tech videos. I always use FAB to get the deck lists. They also have articles there, spoiler reviews when spoilers are in season. Definitely check out FAB. Also, if you're looking to pick up Flesh and Blood singles from the US, I highly recommend Fab Foundry. Excellent customer service, excellent pricing. They ship from the US and they really support the community, so you know, cannot recommend them enough. And the same recommendation goes to Red Riot Games if you are from Canada. So if you're from Canada and you're looking to pick up Flesh and Blood product, definitely check out Red Rat Games. And also, if you'd like to use TCG Player, I do have an affiliate link with TCG Player as well. All of that stuff, Fab Foundry, and Red Rat Games, all that stuff in the description down below. But enough talking. Well, we're gonna talk some more, but now we're gonna talk about the differences between alpha cards and unlimited cards. So before we get started looking at the individual cards, let's take a look at some of the sealed product so you can tell the difference between a first edition booster box and a unlimited edition booster box. So here we have a first edition or alpha print Welcome to Wraith booster box. These are the big daddies. These are the ones going for absurd amounts of money online. I still have some dust on this one because it's been sitting on the shelf for quite some time. I opened these many months ago. So the way you can tell, it says alpha print. If this was sealed, it would not have the Legend Story Studios shrink wrap. It would be just regular, plain, clear shrink wrap with no logo on it. So you can tell the difference. There's no unlimited logo here, and it says alpha print, and it would have a clear shrink wrap. For Arcane Rising, it is sort of similar in that it does not have a unlimited logo here. And it also says on the back, also really dusty, man. Look at that. This has been sitting on my shelf for quite a while. It says first edition. By the way, I took these off of the back of my display, you know, in the opening of the video. But yes, first edition. So Welcome to Wraith says alpha. Arcane Rising says first edition. Man, I need to get a duster. For Crucible of War, there is only a first edition printing, and as you can see, it does have the Legend Story Studios shrink wrap. A first edition box of Arcane Rising would also have this same shrink wrap, and once again, it also has the little logo here that says first edition. So first edition with the shrink wrap. Presumably when they release an unlimited edition, if they do release an unlimited edition, it would have a little unlimited logo here. And you know, just to show you some examples, this one is an unlimited box of Welcome to Wraith with that unlimited logo. You can see unlimited logo, and then no little thing on the back. The same is true for the Arcane Rising unlimited box. Logo, and no little first edition dot on the back. So that's how you can tell the difference between the first edition booster boxes and the unlimited print booster boxes. For the booster packs themselves, it's also very simple. So this is a Crucible of War booster pack. As you can see, no unlimited red logo. For a unlimited booster pack, it does have
that unlimited logo, as you can see here, and that is true also for the Welcome to Wraith booster packs, and presumably when Crucible of War comes out with unlimited, if they do, it would also have this red logo. So let's get to the real meat of this video and start looking at some of the alpha cards or first edition cards. That term can be used interchangeably. Alpha and first edition mean the exact same thing. It's just alpha for Welcome to Wraith and first edition for Arcane Rising and later. So we're going to talk about my favorite card here, Enlightened Strike and Enlightened Strike. Here I hold 3 Alpha Enlightened Strikes and 3 Unlimited Enlightened Strikes. Can you tell the difference? It is actually quite easy when you take a look at the cards. This Enlightened Strike is an Alpha print Enlightened Strike. The easiest way to tell is that the M down here on the bottom just has an M. It says WTR 159-M. The Unlimited version says M with a big old red circle around it, WTR 159, and that's the really big indication. An Alpha print card does not have any color indication, and the Unlimited print card does have a color indication. This holds true for both Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising. Crucible of War is a whole other story that we'll talk about a little bit later in today's video, but if you want the quick and dirty, the best way to tell is just look at the bottom. Does it have a color indication? If so, it is a Unlimited print version of that card. No color indication means it is a first print or Alpha print of that card. For certain red pitch cards, the Alpha print versions also have a color misprint. As you can see here, this Enlightened Strike has a very pinkish red pitch at the top, the little pitch bar at the top, whereas the Unlimited print has the correct red pitch. And you know, side by side you can kind of tell the difference. Personally, I really like the pink pitch cards. I like to collect them. I think they're really cool, which is why it was very important for me to get a full playset of pink pitch Enlightened Strikes. Now, I don't think every single red pitch card from Welcome to Wraith has this pink pitch, and it only is from Welcome to Wraith, not from Arcane Rising. Only Alpha Welcome to Wraith. And the entire list of that is actually on the Flesh and Blood website under the Collector Center. So just FABTCG.com under the Collector Center. It shows you which cards actually have the pink pitch misprint. Now that that is out of the way, let me show you some other variations between the Unlimited print and the first edition print of some of these cards, because it gets pretty interesting, other than, you know, the pink pitch here, which I do think is really cool. Here we have High Speed Impact. This is a rare from Crucible of War. You can tell that it has that blue color R on the bottom. So for Crucible of War, this is the first set that they actually included that colored rarity indication on the bottom. So even the first edition for Crucible of War will have that color rarity symbol. So you might be asking then, how would you tell the difference between a first edition Crucible of War card and a unlimited Crucible of War card? Well, Legend Story Studios has gone on record stating that they will change the code on the bottom of the card to include a U for an unlimited printing. So here it says Crucible of War CRU 106. So an unlimited version of that would say U CRU 106 to show that it's unlimited. And that's going to be the case going forward for every new set. So for Monarch, it will have these color indications here for the first edition and the unlimited, but the unlimited will say U Monarch. So probably U MON, and that's going to be the way to tell the difference between a first edition and unlimited, both Crucible of War and Monarch, and basically any other set going forward. So the next thing I want to show you has to do with the variation in foils between the first edition and unlimited print of certain cards, not every card. So for example, here we have Reduce to Runechant. This is kind of the best example I have of this kind of variation here. We have an alpha print or first edition Reduce to Runechant. You can tell, you know, just by the R here on the bottom, no color rarity indication. The unlimited print here has that blue rare indication. So you have an unlimited and a first edition print. You know, mostly they look almost identically the same. You know, there is some slight variation in inking, but you know, that's from print run to print run, not that big of a difference. However, for the foils, here we have an unlimited foil Reduce to Runechant, and can you see any differences? No, there is basically no difference between an unlimited foil reduced to Runechant and an alpha card, or first edition card. As you can see, other than the fact that it's foil, it's basically the same. This one has the rarity indication on the bottom, denoting that it is from unlimited. This one has no rarity indication on the bottom that it's colored, just has that R. And then, of course, here is the unlimited version to compare against its counterpart. However, the first edition foil is quite a bit different. And let me take this out of the sleeve so we can get a little bit more of a better effect here. Here is the alpha or first edition print of Reduced to Runechant. Now, do you see any differences here? Other than that the foiling is a little bit more faded, do you see any differences? And that some of the foiling is a little bit emphasized. I didn't actually realize this. Look, the chains or the manacles on this dude, the foiling is a little bit more emphasized than on this one. Ah, very interesting. I did not actually know that. Very interesting. Well, the big thing I wanted to get at is just look at the text box. It is way more simplified in the first edition foil of Reduced to Runechant. It got rid of all of the reminder text for Runechant tokens. It just says create a Runechant token. And once again, we can compare it to their non-foil counterparts here. First edition non-foil compared to the first edition foil. So first edition foils, some of them have a simplified rules text, which I think it looks really, really nice. It's so much cleaner. So yeah, that is a very, very big difference between some of the first edition cards. And I'm going to show you way more examples of this because there's a lot of examples of this. And some cards that you think would follow that rule, but don't actually follow that rule. So yeah, once again, we'll compare side by side first edition foil and an unlimited foil for Reduced to Runechant. Yeah, very interesting. So it's not all just the cold foils. Everyone's like, oh yeah, you got to get the cold foils. Cold foils is the only difference. There's some slight other differences with some of the foiling here. So here I have a ton more examples, and then something else I want to show you, because I know a lot of people ask about starter deck, first editions and all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about the starter deck kind of stuff in just a little bit, but let me show you some of these other variations and maybe not variations in the foiling. So here is a Whisper of the Oracle. This is a foil blue pitch Whisper of the Oracle. Absolutely beautiful card. This one is a first edition version, you can tell, with the no color indication. It does have the Opt 2, and it also has the reminder text on Opt 2. However, the unlimited print, as you can see, it's got that colored C, denoting that it's a unlimited common, still has the reminder text. So both of them have the reminder text, and as you saw with Reduced to Runechant, the alpha or first edition print version of the card got rid of the reminder text. So some cards do have it, and some cards got rid of it for the first edition. So it's very inconsistent, and I will show you some more examples of this. So yeah, for Whisper of the Oracle, they're basically identically the same. I wonder if there's any other slight differences in the foiling here. It doesn't look like it very much, but still beautiful cards. In case you were curious about cold foils, I do have a Null Rune Hood. So this is a unlimited foil Null Rune Hood. This is a rainbow foil, or what they call a rainbow foil. You can see how it has the arcane barrier and the reminder text. You can see that colored C on the bottom, denoting that it is from Unlimited. Also, Unlimited does not have cold foils. There are no cold foil cards in Unlimited, period. However, for the first edition print of a card, it does have cold foils. In fact, all of the equipment, if it would be foil, will be cold foil, at least for Arcane Rising and Welcome to Wraith. That is true. And you can tell that this is first edition by this little C on the bottom. Does not have that color circle around it. And let's take this out of the sleeve a little bit, just to kind of show you some of the differences here. So here we have the cold foil. You can kind of see the cold foil shine on here compared to the rainbow foil shine. Rainbow foil still looks quite nice. I prefer the cold foil. It just looks super sleek. But for this instance, the arcane barrier is not simplified for either version of the card. It just still has the reminder text for the cold foil. So, keep that in mind. Cold foils sometimes also still have the reminder text, but that's not entirely true for all of them. Here we have my favorite character in the entire game, Viserai Runeblood. You can see all of his text here, including the reminder text for Runechant tokens. Well, I just so happen to have a cold foil Viserai Runeblood, and he does not have the reminder text for the Runechant. So it seems like some mechanics are simplified and some mechanics are not simplified for the first edition or cold foil printing of that card. So this stuff is very, very interesting to me, finding out which ones are simplified for the first edition and alpha prints and also cold foils, and which ones are not. And I can tell you that the rainbow foil Viserai Runeblood does still have the full text box here. The only version of Viserai that does not have that reminder text is the cold foil version. Also here you can tell the difference. This one is a promo card. It says Hero. Let's zoom in a little bit here just so you can see this a little bit better. It says Hero 11P. P stands for promo. Here is Arc. So Arcane Rising 75T. T stands for token. This was in a booster pack as a token. Newer promos actually have a green colored P down here on the bottom. Let me actually get one to show you. I don't have a Viserai to show you, but I do have, let me move all of that sealed stuff that I set aside here. I do have all of the Welcome to Wraith heroes in rainbow foil. Most of them are being used. However, I have not yet made my Reinhardt deck, so I do have a spare rainbow foil Reinhardt, as you can see here, with that green colored P. He's got that green P. Green P on the bottom there. So they have changed it. So the newer promos should have that green P on the bottom. So what I wanted to show you, this card in particular, was for the foil version of the card. And as you can see, the text is significantly simplified. So both Dominate and Boost have been simplified for the foil version of this card. And as you can see here, just in case you're watching in the future and they somehow have an unlimited print of Crucible of War, this one is a first edition Crucible of War. And you can see just how much cleaner that looks. So yeah, first edition foils for the most part look just, man, they look great. They look absolutely choice. So much cleaner text boxes. And I actually have another example of this on one of my favorite cards of all time, Arc Knight Ascendancy. So what's really interesting about this is here it says Viserai Specialization. And we're going to zoom in here a little bit. And you can see it has the reminder text for what a specialization is. You can only have Arc Knight Ascendancy in your deck if your hero is Viserai. Well, for the foil version of this card, and this is a foil first edition Arc Knight Ascendancy, for the Viserai Specialization, it just says Viserai Specializations. Very, very much cleaned up. It's a very small change, but a change that I think is just really cool and good to note. I don't think a lot of people notice that or even recognize that. And that's true for every single specialization card that is foil and first edition. Next up, I have a couple more to show you from Crucible of War. This is Kasai, Centauri Sellsword, one of my favorite heroes from the set. I really like Kasai. Here we have the rainbow foil version of Kasai, picked up in a booster pack. And then the regular version of Kasai picked up in a booster pack. And here you can see she has reminder text for the copper tokens. Well, the foil version does not have that reminder text for the copper token. So let's zoom in once again, and we can kind of just see how much cleaner the foil version looks. All right, let's get the shine on there. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, compared to the standard version. So any card like this that is more simplified, in my opinion, is more desirable for the foil version. Other than just looking nicer, just having that cleaner text boxes is super sweet. And that's also true for the other hero from Crucible of War that uses copper tokens, Kavdane, Trader of Skins. You can see Kavdane. Let's just kind of get his foil version in all of his glory here. He's just a disgusting card. But yeah, you can see that the text box, once again, is simplified for the foil version. There is no reminder text for the copper. And just look at the foiling on his eyes, man. Look at the heart. Yeah, and then we have the regular Kavdane. So the final cards I want to talk about have to do with the hero and welcome deck cards. Here we have Springboard Somersault. This Springboard Somersault is actually from the Dorinthia hero deck, and you can tell down here on the bottom how it says TEA, TEA019C. So that is from the Dorinthia hero deck. So that's how you can tell if it's from a Dorinthia deck or like a Ira deck, for example. Here we have Springboard Somersault, but this one is from Crucible of War. And once again, you can see that blue R on the bottom and then CRU. And right now I want to note that there is no unlimited version of any of the starter decks right now. So for the Ira welcome decks and for the hero decks, they are all the same print. There is no difference between, one Dorinthia Springboard Somersault and another Dorinthia Springboard Somersault. They are all the same as of this recording, late 2020, early 2021. And I'm going to show you this with one other card, probably one of the most used cards that I have, Energy Potion. Here, look, I have a bunch of Energy Potions. Some of them are first edition Welcome to Wraith foils. So here we have first edition Welcome to Wraith foil Energy Potion. You can see the WTR, and that's just an R, no rarity indication here. And then here we have an Energy Potion, just a regular one from Alpha WTR. This one, however, is from the Katsu hero deck. As you can see, the KSU from the Katsu hero deck. This one here, also from the Katsu hero deck. And then this one is TEA from the Dorinthia hero deck. And for the sake of argument, here is a unlimited print Welcome to Wraith Energy Potion. I just kind of grabbed one from my my Bravo deck I have kind of off screen just to show you the full gambit there. It did have that, I should probably show you while I talk about it. It does have that blue rarity indication. And yeah, that was today's video. If you liked the video, then leave a like, comment, subscribe. Maybe check out my Patreon if you would like to support me directly. Every single month I give cards and sometimes booster packs if you sign up for the booster packs back to you. New patrons who sign up for the booster pack tiers will be getting Arcane Rising until Monarch comes out, in which case they will be getting Monarch. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time for some more Flesh and Blood content. We'll see you then.